Okay, Kenju is trying to figure out why she can't throw the distance she did last year, 107, and this year she's throwing about 80. So this is her throw from last year. And then the next three are throws from this year. Okay. I noticed on this third one that you landed right in the middle. But on these two earlier ones, you landed off way off to the left side. Like, yeah, see, way over here on the left. I usually look for that. But, yeah, on the third, on this second one, let's see. Yeah, this is the first one. Yeah, way over on the left side. This one, your heel didn't drop. But what I'm seeing compared to last year, the biggest thing is where you're jumping in the air here as you release, or before you release even. So here the discus is still in your hand, both feet are off the ground. What happens when you jump, sometimes that discus doesn't come with you, and you'll end up throwing flat. Watch the discus, how low it is. See that? Also, in this case, your arm after release is going to come downward, and it's going to cause this discus left edge to go down. You want that right edge to be down. Okay, see how the discus left edge is down? And watch your arm come down. Okay, you want that arm to go upward. So, yeah, then you want to turn on that right foot, driving the knee and hip forward, and keeping ground contact as long as you can. Your foot's off the ground here, and you're still driving the hip forward, but right here, see your left foot's off the ground, so you really don't have anything to push against as you try to drive that right hip forward. But mainly, I think the jumping is causing that discus to go flat, because your body, your arm goes up, but the discus stays where it's at. The edge even can come down a little bit. You'll see that on the next one too. The timing seems pretty good though. I mean, with the left leg extending just before the release. It's just a little early because it's getting both feet off the ground. And here again, you can see the way your arm is angled. The left edge is going to be down. But some things I would work on. Try to get you back where you were last year, and probably well beyond that, is right here. I would probably shift over a little bit to the left as you come out of the back. Try to set up an axis here. The left side axis. Okay. Right here, the discus should be on its way upward to the high point. Okay, you carry this discus really low here. That's going to be a big difference maker right there. Next, I would stop this left leg as it's facing down the throwing sector. I assume that's about where this person is with the tape here. And then mark your circle. Put a dot even right in the center and try to land on either that dot or just beyond it. But don't land on the left side of it. Okay, looks like you land the hip on top. Looks like your separation's okay right here. Just the discus is really low. You got to get that in line with your shoulders and up higher. Okay, we're coming around. Yeah, you can see how you haven't rotated this foot at all. The discus is back here. Usually I like to see the heel and the discus in a line. And you can see you're starting to jump already. Your right leg is starting to extend rather than keep driving that knee forward. Right here. Yeah, see you still have time where you can keep that right foot grinding on against the ground and rotating and keep driving this bent right leg around this left leg block. Now let's go back to the your 107-foot throw from last year. You're going to see how you stay on the ground on this one. See, the discus is even a little bit higher too. That probably made a big difference. You spent a lot of time in the air in the last year, but you were let's see. Okay. It looked like you had a heel strike here. Or this year it looks like your heel's up off the ground. You're staying on the toe. But last year, yeah, the foot stopped rotating. The heel was down. And this was, 20 feet farther than you're throwing this year. Probably because you've got that left foot down and that right. The knee is down low. The right foot is still on the ground. See, the hip is driving and pulling that discus. Left foot is still flat on the ground. As the right hip comes around, the discus is still in your hand. Right there. And then your arm, the discus flies really nice. The angle I can see, because you didn't jump, the angle is much higher. And I think that also made a big difference in your distances. Okay. The arm, I think, went upwards. Yeah, you can see the arm went up before it came down. I can't see the edge of the discus, but the angle you can tell is definitely higher than what you're doing this year. Wanted to take a look at this third throw that you had from a different angle here. This is the one where you landed in the middle. The discus is still very low, as you can see here. This should be way up here, okay? In line with the shoulders. So you get that angle by leaning toward 12 o'clock, the back of the circle. Okay. Both feet are still down. Yeah, you can see here you're starting to extend that right leg instead of driving it forward. Driving the hip forward. Turn that foot while it's still on the ground. At least get it turned. Get that foot all the way around while it's still on the ground. And then from here you can see as you jump up in the air, both feet are up in the air. See the discus, how low it is? The angle. And again, you can see the left side is down. And you can watch your left arm here come immediately downward. Okay. Now let's take a look at Valerie Allman. Point out some of the things we just talked about. Okay, she's coming around. See how high the discus is? Okay. Land on the toe or the forefoot there and keep the heel up. Keep the foot turning the whole time. Very high discus. Okay. Left toes down. She's going to set up this left side block. It's going to be very solid. See how the right foot keeps grinding and turning? The hip is on top of that foot. The knee is going to keep rotating to the front. Driving that hip. Now here's the sector, so she's not quite to the front yet, but you can see that right hip driving. See the foot is still on the ground? The left leg is still not extended yet. She's pulling that discus with that right hip. See how they work together? Driving it. Now the foot's totally vertical. In order to keep that hip moving, it's looks like it's square now with the left hip. And now it's like running ahead of the left hip while the discus is still in her hand. So to do that, she has to slide this right foot forward. It's got to come off the ground in order to keep moving forward. But you see the left foot is still on the ground. The discus is just ready to leave her fingers right there. Left toes are still on the ground. Right foot is very low to the ground. Right hip is well ahead. Now watch her, after she releases, watch her arm. See how it releases and stays high before coming around? Okay, so those are the things we talked about. And hope to see some improvements there. You should be able to do at least as well as last year, and I'm sure do a lot better by keeping those few things in mind. All right? Okay, thanks.